Hello and welcome back to my channel, and in case you didn't know, I'm a really big fan of ASMR videos, and I'd say that one of my top 3 creators is WhispersRed ASMR, and I'll leave her channel linked below if you're interested and if you've not come across her channel before. But she's a phenomenal creator. Not only are her videos of a really high quality and production value, but I believe she's just got an innate ability to really tap into ASMR triggers and being able to evoke responses. So yeah, she's really brilliant at what she does. And not only that, but she has the most amazing bone structure and beautiful red hair, so you know, that's a complete gift to any sculptor out there. So she's certainly somebody that I've wanted to make for quite some time now. I sent her an email a little while ago now just to ask if she wouldn't mind me doing this, because you know, it might be considered a bit weird, but yeah, she sent a lovely response back saying that she was cool with it. So yeah, I'm just delighted to be able to make her. I did want to try my hands at making this into a kind of semi ASMR video, but yeah, my plans got scuppered really because firstly, it was really boiling hot last week, so it was really difficult for me to kind of get in the mood, but also because we've pretty much come out of lockdown now in the UK, the traffic noise outside has really escalated, and if you're a regular viewer to my channel, you'll know that I really suffer with traffic noise anyway. So I just thought, you know what, this isn't working, I'm just gonna kind of do what I usually do really. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. There's various ups and downs during the process of this video that I'll share with you as well as we go along, but yeah, let me go and show you how I made her. So to get things started, I'm just going to clean down my work surface as always, just with a wet wipe and some kitchen roll here, and I'll use a tiny amount of sacrificial clay just to pick up any debris that might be kicking around. And as usual, I'm going to start with the head of the model. So I'll just need to condition some clay. And I'll use my blade cutting tool here just to pick out any tiny pieces of debris that may be kicking around. Even if you're the cleanest person on earth, you're always liable to pick up any airborne fibres, etc. So it's always good to have a wipe towel. I really admire WhispersRed ASMR, or Emma, for a number of reasons, but primarily I really enjoy how creative she is. She's been able to create her own little universe really throughout the years, and she's even developed her own little characters as well, such as Barbara and Malcolm, and yeah, you'll need to watch her videos to find out more about those. But yeah, I just love it really. It's very clever stuff. And I came across her videos maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I was just immediately struck at how good she is at ASMR. So I'd certainly recommend her channel if you're into ASMR, because yeah, she's one of the best, I think. And I also really love how she really does go out of her way to promote and elevate smaller creators within her genre. And she developed a series of videos fairly recently on basically showcasing ASMR talents in the UK. And I had no idea there were so many ASMRtists in Britain, so that was really interesting to see. And yeah, there's a whole lot of talents out there. I really enjoy watching ASMR videos, particularly if I'm feeling kind of anxious or stressed out about something. I find them a really great way just to be able to get out of your head space for a while really. And also if you're struggling to sleep, they can be really useful as well, just to, you know, help you sufficiently relax really. So for Emma's outfits, I had a little bit of a struggle really in trying to come up with what I wanted her to wear, because basically ASMRtists very rarely show their whole bodies in their videos really, or their whole outfits. because they tend to focus on, you know, just what their hands are doing or their faces. So I basically had to go and look at her Instagram accounts for any outfits that I found inspiring, really, and I wanted to keep it kind of casual, so I found a series of images from a recent trip, I think to Australia, that she had. So yeah, I've basically gone for jeans and white trainers or plimsolls, really. And as I said in the intro, it was really hot in the studio last week, so it was really difficult to get anything to work properly, really. So yeah, I'm glad things are cooling down a little now. So I'm just moving on to Emma's eyes here, and it's really difficult sometimes as an artist to deduce whether somebody has blue or green eyes, if they fall on that spectrum, because they can look pretty similar in a video. So basically I've had a look at some other fan arts and I've noticed that people tend to give her blue eyes, so you know, I've done the same here. So Emma, if you're watching this and you have green eyes, apologies for that, but I'm pretty sure they're blue. If you're new to my channel, I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I make weekly videos about my polymer clay sculptures, and I make some tutorials and vlogs and review videos, all that kind of polymer clay stuff. So if you like what you see, by all means go and hit the subscribe button, and remember to hit the bell for notifications as well. So I really wanted to have my model of Emma holding something, because, you know, ASMR content creators are often holding items to make noises with, etc. So in one of her trigger videos, she is basically kind of holding I think it's a beanie of a koala, and you know, I was really struck with it because it's something quite cute, isn't it? So I thought that might work pretty well. So I've just yeah, put together a little koala here, and I've kept it quite flat so that it bakes hopefully quite well during the baking process. And on my models I never ever have fingernails, and you'll see why here. It just really doesn't work, which is unfortunate, because if you know anything about ASMR videos or ASMRtists, they always have beautifully manicured nails. So unfortunately I've not been able to represent that on my model, but I'll put some little indentations in instead. But yeah, it's always interesting to remind myself that it doesn't actually work on my models very well, so they can come off. And obviously they're a complete contrast to my own nails, but I have to keep my nails really short because I find that I can't work with any length on my nails, unfortunately. So now I can start crafting the body. And again, this was quite a lengthy process actually, because you know, the polymer clay felt like it was melting at times, so it proved quite difficult, I have to say. And I'll just give Emma a greeny tealy t-shirt. Oh, I just thought I'd mention as well that I have noticed recently I've been receiving quite a lot of DMs or direct messages on Instagram, mainly from people asking questions about polymer clay or my work, but I'm gonna have to basically call time on those because I have a bit of an issue with my eyes due to basically a neuro condition that I've got, but it means I can't look at digital devices for any real length of time because it causes well, pain really after a while. So if you do happen to have any questions about polymer clay or my work, it's best really to leave a YouTube comments on one of my videos. And if it happens to be something that I can answer, because you know I don't know everything, I have to say, then I'll respond to that in basically video commentaries on my YouTube videos. So yeah, sorry about that. It's just that I can't spend huge amounts of time on Instagram, unfortunately. So after the finishing touches here, I then baked the model. And that's when disaster struck really, because I don't know if you can see very well, but there's a definite crack going on the legs, and there was another on the back there. So what I had to do basically was to dig fairly deep down with a scalpel and add some more clay and rebake. But I'll create a second video on this that I'll upload probably next week, just to show you what I did really to resolve the issue. But I did have to eventually paint the trousers, which is something that I never really want to do on my models, because I like to just use the colour of the clay. But because I was really happy with the likeness on the model, I didn't want to have to remake it. But anyway, here's me adding some hair to the model. And this was such a lovely part of the process really, because as I've mentioned, Emma's got beautiful hair, so it was really nice to replicate that in polymer clay. So once the hair was complete, I baked the model again, and yeah, here's me adding some paint. And I ended up using a darker colour on the jeans, which to be honest I prefer to the original anyway, so you know, perhaps it was all for the best anyway. And now the paint's all dry, I have to say it's probably worked out better than I thought. I really like the colour, and it's yeah, worked out pretty well. And I'll just give Emma a little bit of blush here. And a little bit of Sculpey glaze to her bracelets. And yeah, I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the results. It's been a bit of a nightmare of a project, and I really wanted to have this video done for last week, but yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, and it shows that not everything goes to plan, but it's been an interesting process. And I'll be sending this model off to Emma in the near future, so fingers crossed she likes it. I hope you enjoyed that, and you know, I think it went okay in the end. It's always good as a creative to have a problem or two or three to resolve, as it really kind of, you know, helps you kind of focus on problem solving, so it's always a useful thing. And I'll be putting together a second video which will probably be out next week, in which I look at how to resolve the issue in detail. So if you've any problems with cracks in your polymer clay, or if you go on to have cracks in your polymer clay, it might be a useful resource. So yeah, that'll be coming soon. So stay safe, I'll see you soon, bye bye.